This is day 1342 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Our name which should be as close to Achenu Kol Eitz Yisrael and Sim Basar V'Shivya in a war against Torah Sonu and Gazi Yamach Shemam. Today we're doing your idea Siman Reish Aleph, Sif Reish Yud. It's the Reish to Zayin. This is the penultimate day of Reish Aleph. It's a Shem. Tomorrow we're going to make a siyum on it. Reish Yud. They two mikvahs not at 40 saw. They have mostly my kosher water. Three looking fell to one of them. We do lazy man naflu. We know to which one it fell. Another three looking then fell. But any of the lazy man naflu, you don't know where they fell. I mean, close. I can say totally. And say the makam shnaflu rishayin naflu shneim. The place where the first ones fell, the second ones fell. Because you're not rooting anymore. I've left, but on the contrary, but Yishayim Lona Dala Eza Man Naflu. When the first three looking fell, we don't know where it fell. Shneim Noda Leza Man Naflu, and the second ones we do know where they fell. Eicha Chol Close Lamar Makom Shnaflu Shneim Naflu Yishayim can't go backwards in time. Say where the second ones fell, the first ones fell. The Miyad Yishayim Lona Dala Leza Man Nafal. But immediately we don't know by the first ones to where they fell. Harein Yasu Shneim, both of them became usher. How can one of them go return to be kosher after the second shneim, Lasheni after the second fell into the second? But says the auction is only where we knew about the first nefila, became aware of it before the second nefila took place. At that point, they both have a cheskas psul. But we don't know, we're aware of the first fall until after the second fall. Talina, we can't be toilet. Because we became aware of both of them together. One of them is Maim Shubim, the other mikvah is kosher water. Lesson 40. Some naflu shlosh looking at Echomem, and three looking fell to one of them. But any other lezim naflu, we don't know to which one it fell. Totally mashum. We say we can be told that it fell to the Maim Shubim. Can't have a calculation. Not making them any worse. But Echomem yesh barboim saw. So the one of them is 40 saw. The sheni ain't bo. The other one is not a 40 saw. Talina bezesh yesh bo. We link it to the Maim. We look to the one which has 40 saw. As we wrote. The bracket says because I didn't have a sif ayin bays, but because of sif ayin samaches ayin sham, so it seems redundant. Therefore, the agav shubim shlo is can record it perhaps because he didn't mention shubim previously. He's kagama boim, so he also mentions 40 saw ayin sham. Okay. Reish Rav, v'zeh okol b'savik rabbanon, so b'savik rabbanon. I have a savik daraisa also, but savik daraisa, it's also. Therefore, tamish yard lead both. The time he went down to Toivel, Suffolk Toivel, Suffolk Toivel. You're not sure if he Toivel or not. I feel Toivel, even in Toivel, Suffolk Yesh Bo Arbaim Saw, Suffolk Amo. So Suffolk, there is 40 saw or not. Echad Yesh Bo Arbaim Saw, one has 40 saw, Echad Amo, and one does not. The Toivel Echamem, you Toivel, one of them. Ve'edo Mez and Toivel, don't know which one you Toivel. Tame. You Tame, if you shall Tame Cheskaso, because the Tame is in his Cheskas Tuma. Achivadash and Toivel Karoi, until you become aware that he was Toivel properly. I feel between Rabbar. It applies to rabbinic tumah. So too, if a woman saw a stain, which is only the rabbanon, nevertheless, still remains a cheskas tumah. That's what it does. Many people disagreed with this Taz. Rambam Perak Yud from the Rambam, where the way he wrote these laws, he wrote explicitly by Medvar Murim, whereas the Shuk Shoisat Tefillah Mituma Chamura, when the Tefillah was from a more stringent tumah. I'm telling you to Makal, but he was telling from a less stringent tumah, such as when he ate tame food. Since this is a rabbinic sourced halacha, Sveikotar, the suffix is tar. The question asked by Mishnah Melch and Prima Gadi. Vani, any rabbi says Shum Dasar. I don't see any issue here. The Rambam Lokam Arakun Mashi Kar the Rabbanim. Rambam's only trying to say where the Ikar's Rabbanim. In other words, It's not a mikvah milsa of the raisa. It's the ikar of the rabbanon. Like the 18 Gzeros in the last and first regular Shabbos. The Rabbah writes as follows: if it's avatum the rabbanon, is a suffix is tame. I can quote. Rambam, he's not arguing the Rambam, and he says in the brackets, "It's me and Mishnah Mechva Priyagonim Shichsu Shkiol Latos." Latos. I'm astonished that the Mishnah Mechva Priyagonim just said that Taz made a mistake. Which is measured and found to be missing water. A call tarish nasogab of all tires which are made on account of this mikvah. Which actually a tummy actually as much until you can ascertain the time when it was measured. At that point, it was showing. Makes sense. The mikvah is a private domain. A public domain. If Lomi is a subject to Mishus Rabin Tor, we don't say in this case a subject to Mishus Rabin Mistor. The subject tumor mina came, the lobe varitum. We say by a subject tumor, not by a definite tumor. The subject tefillah v'chein isha nida afilu ba'as kesem shetav l'sham. If you have a suffix in tefillah or a woman who's nida, even if it's on account of a stain, was tevel there. Harei tmeya, she's assumed hiteh, but tzricha tefillah chesed, she needs another tefillah in the mikveh. The bracket says Mishlamer Prekyur Heri Charbei. Ayin Sham. Okay, Reishid base. Kosva Rambam Perkut down. Shulchan Sif Ayin Sinor Shem Kolech LeMikvah. We have a pipe which is spouting into the mikvah. B'machteshes Nesuna B'tzido, and you have this mortar, this which you grind next to it. Safik Miatzino LeMikvah. Safik Machtesh Mikvah. Safik if it went in directly from the pipe in the mikvah, went into that mortar, and there's the mikvah. Raise a puzzle. So as an Isha Psul Mochiach, only because it's right there, so it indicates that logically you went through there. The mikvah already has a majority of kosher waters. It's a kosher. It's kosher no matter what. So it's a suffix mayim shuvim. That's a suffix mayim shuvim. Sheisha mikvah kosher kavua, because there is a standing kosher mikvah there. Akal the Zerman that's only equal for the Rambam and the Shulchan Aruch. V'zeu made Tosefta Shamson and Tosefta. The Sovereign, the Kulo Shov, Posumi HaTorah, Asif Shav Kashim Shuto. Those are that Kulo Shov is Posumi the Raisa, works out in a simple way. The Kshieshro Mayim Shimon is majority of kosher water, kosher. It's kosher, Blavaki Posel, otherwise it's Posel. V'zeu Shutrach Lamar, Beresh, and Nesh Psul Mochia, that which you have to say that the Psul is clear cut. The Mashma Blavaki, how clear, but it sounds like otherwise would have been lenient. Neshu Cut was a Tanya, because before this is a Braisa Shom, Shechezkas HaMikvos shares that we assume that Mikvos are kosher. Ayin Shom. Zeh Omer, that's what it says, the Bekan of the Chezkasa, the Chazaka is eliminated. Because the psul of that mortar is indicates that there's a psul in the process. It's Tosaba Baso Samach Vav, and the Rashi Peri Beis Mishnah. Sarina Gam Kul Shobi Rabbanan. What about those? Even entirely show mikvahs only the Rabbanan. Nearly does the sharp. I think it works out well anyway. Says Arukh HaShulchan. The Reisha Kamar Neisha Psul Mochiach. And the Reisha says because the Psul is clearly indicated. It's like a suffix Mayim Shumin. It's not like a suffix in Mayim Shumin. There's a suffix Kli. There's a suffix in a Keli. The Gamiatar Puzzle Hidvol B'Kelim. And the rice is puzzled to Tevel in Kelim. Kosher de Kli Shebetzida. And this is interesting. Anytime there's a Kli next to the mikvah, they are more machmir than by simple Mayim Shuvim. Only when there's definite majority of kosher water, because the vessel is there next to the mikvah, and the invalidity is glaring. Therefore, it's equivalent in its severity to the Raisa. Rei Shur Gimel, Kasar Rabbeinu Beis Yosef. Beis Yosef writes, Besif Ayin Dal, Kol Mikvah Nimtzoim Psulim, you find a mikvah, it would stumble across a mikvah, so you have to assume it's possible, because we assume that the water is drawn. So Ram writes this, it's from a Mishnah. The Eina Kavan al Mikvah Shalom. It's not about our mikvahs. So some are saying Kakasha, it's the contrary. Our mikvahs, we should assume are kosher. The Elabistam gave him more about generic pools and pits Malay mine, which are for water of any will do a mahaim, that we don't know what they are. We assume that they are drawn water. But even by boros, by holes in the ground, if it's clear that they came about naturally from rainwater, like diggings and cisterns in the fields, etc. Mutli boven, the equivalent of them, and that's from a shach. Reishudat okas of Sif Ayin. The Shulchan Aruch also writes, Mishi oser latil yuram le'amayim chaim tocha mikol yesh mishoiser, that those who forbid latil yuram mayim chamim to pour a hot pot full of hot water to tocha mikol to a mikol chamot to heat it. Chein malos mikveh mayim chamim l'chabel lenor, also to fill a mikveh with hot water and connect it to a river, b'shul feres node with the 2-finger hole. I kind of show. Those who are lenient and say you can't pour hot water in the mikveh to heat it up. Nevertheless, we should be machmir. Let's place with the minhag is to be mekel, then we can't protest. In the hot springs of Tveria, everybody holds its mutter. What it means to say, we're learning to say Isim Mefurish. So click on Isim Gemara and heating up a mikveh by pouring hot water to it. And the Shabbasugi brachas eating the tefillas carry, but in the case in Gemara brachas chapes, it talks about being toivel for about carry. The show Ravuna Asorim name ma atem zalzim mitfila zu. Why do you make light of this tefillah? Imishum tzvina, if it's because it's cold. After mechatzos, go to a bathhouse where it's warm. Can you toivel in hot water? So it sounds like you can't toivel in hot water. Whether you can wash with cold water or not, maybe you're right, it still brings the right to forbid it. But other time for that it says anybody that's going to the mikveh can go to the mikveh normally. We don't pass this way. We're even on Tisha B'Av Yom Kippur. But wait about Elam B'Chami, if you talk about hot water, feel B'Chami Ika. How can you talk about hot water? But you talk about cold water. It feels in low. People who must go to the mikveh that day, they can go. Other people cannot. So when it says, well, we're talking about the hot springs, it's very Ayin Sham. So because of Mordechai B'Shul's praying base, so in this kind, Mordechai writes, the Rabbeinu Shimshon, the Rash, also Bo B'Chami, forbids traveling in hot water. Rabbeinu Tam, Ori, it's interesting, Ori, also they also answer. Because of the time they write, the reason Mishum says Merchatzos, lets the person say, I don't need a mikvah, I can just go to the Turkish bath. If a Kohen Gadol is sensitive, we heat up the mikveh on Yom Kippur. That's because they're in the ground. And there's no issue with that. I don't know why there's no issue. I guess Zeresh Mechazah is only in a mikveh which is inside, not dug into the ground. Unclear. By the way, I think the mikveh there, the simple answer, the mikveh in the Beis HaMikdash was heated up with Ashashos Shel Barzel, if I recall correctly, hot metal balls. So the Zeresh Mechazah perhaps only applies when you're putting in hot water. They are allowed toiveling in hot water. Because of Shem Rabbeinu Tam, that's why they named Rabbeinu Tam. If you write it to Sefta Peribasa Mikvos, they put emphasis to Sefta Tani where it says, Hayu Raglam Leos Avok, if your legs are full of dust, if you have trouble, you went down and toivel, Otava B'mayim Chamin, you tell them that water, I am Shom. Because of after Yesh Lamar, the Zel B'chamit Fair, even though you could say that that's hot springs, become called nevertheless Yeshua Meida. So proof of Nida that Samaches, Shom Ram Nachman, Leish Des Reish Galusa, when now says to whoever is Galusa Shwetzel and Niach Atfil Lamachar, one of them would leave going to make it the next day because it was cold. Omar Allah, he said, Duli Chasarti, you missing kettles with me? Pierce Rabbeinu Tam Orach, especially we have for Rabbeinu Tam Marie, Rabbeinu Tam Orach. Maybe, I heard once that the Arukh HaShulchan did not look inside with writing Arukh HaShulchan. Just wrote it straight from memory. So maybe this is, you remember the moment he wrote it, was the Rabbeinu Tam of the Rash, Rabbeinu Tam of the Rabbeinu Tam of the Re, Rabbeinu Tam or the Rach. Tzari Berusha. It means like this: Latil Yuras Chamim Lamei Mikveh Chamamot to pour pots of hot water into a mikveh to heat it up. Ayin Sham. Vasugias the brachas tais lo tirtzu. So the brachas tais did not resolve. But Beina says pasal chumra v'ayroy lachmir. The base says pasal chumra that you saw should be macher. Beina pasal chulam mishum that Beina says the dark lemba because the chayim v'ershel lachmir. The Rambam was maker because look, he lived all his entire life. The Tzeisav lived in hot countries, so it's easy to be machmir. Although it's fast, it get pretty cold in the winter. Mashayin Rabbeinu Ramah is supposed to Ramah. Dark come up Krakow. It's all like Krakow. Shemachor Karmaod. It's very cold. He has to be Mako. He has to be Mako. Vim kol zeh daftas mutter machen. Vim kol zeh because of the Yeshachmir. Unless say machen lo makom shnogel hakel. If they're not a place to the Migos, you make the biyama v'yinash brios. He say the women were hale and hardy. With difficulty, they can't tolerate it. In all our countries, that several generations, we put out water in the mikveh. I guess it's like a radiator of some sort. It's impossible in our countries to live cold. Even in the summer, since our mikvahs are springs, they're very cold. And we're machmir this for a butler period you saw them, nobody be fruitful and procreating in Ami soil. Or you are noshim bosi de sakana, or women come to danger. They ain't suffering, no doubt, because it's tense cold. But you michsholim rabbin kavon very many obvious stumbling blocks. Therefore, the minhag has always been to toivel in hot water. And nobody complains about this. To doubt this. Fakvek is somebody who does doubt it. Osi litein asadin will eventually have to give a din mecheshman in Shamayim for having caused problems to Klaiso. But we never heard people who doubted this. And that brings us to the end for today.